Matt.
Oh, hey, man.
Hey, Josh isn't here yet.
He's still late?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh God, I'm gonna be late.
When's he gonna be here? Is he, like, flying in? Like,
Okay, holiday card project, 30,000 cards. We launched yesterday.
oh, hey! All right. Let's get this going.
Finally, I'm sorry for being late.
It's all good, man. That's all good. Hello, everybody. My name is Matt Buholtz, and welcome to the DeviantArt podcast. Today, we are joined by Josh Lim. Josh, welcome.
I'm glad to be here, Matt. Thank you so much.
I'm
I've
glad
seen
to-
all your episodes.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, Josh, we're excited to have you on the podcast because you're going to talk to us a little bit about the holiday card project. But before that, I want to know a little bit about you so that we can share that with everyone.
Well, so on DeviantArt, my username is AkiStar. That's
Okay.
AKIESTAR. Sounds like the phrase aquí estar in Espanol, in Spanish. I'm the community campaign manager for DeviantArt, so I run all of the fun activities that are usually not contests. So I've done Pride, Valentine's Day, DA's birthday, the Mental Health Journal, which came out last October, and all these other fun projects, including the Holiday Card Project, which is what we're talking about today.
Yeah, you've done it all. And on top of that, you speak how many languages?
I speak 8, so I speak English and Filipino natively, Spanish, Chinese, and Polish at some level where I'll be able to generally survive if you throw me in that country, some French, some Hebrew, and basic Japanese.
You are the Bear Grylls of linguistics.
I wish I was, but I know that he can do better than me.
Now, how long have you been with DeviantArt?
So I have been with DeviantArt now for about a year and a half. I was hired in May of 2018, and it's been a ride, really. I have enjoyed being with DeviantArt through everything, and it has been an absolutely wonderful experience.
What's one of your most memorable experiences at DA so far?
Well, I would have to say it's either the birthday last year was really fun. The birthday this year was definitely exciting. The holiday card project last year was definitely great. I enjoyed my many times slaving away in the old conference room. But other than that, every day has been an experience at DeviantArt. I love working with the people here. It's been a wonderful experience, especially for someone who moved 8,000 miles to actually start working at this wonderful company.
That's quite the distance. So I want to know from you, just to get people to know you, but also to build your mystery a little bit, 2 truths and a lie.
Well, feel free to guess.
Yeah, you guys can guess in the journal below. Don't tell if you know.
So I was once a Zumba instructor. I have been to over 50 countries, and I once learned to tie my shoes at the age of 9. And that was the first time I ever learned how to tie my shoes.
I have guesses as to which one's correct, but that's also because I've seen you in spandex. So let's move on to the holiday card project now that we've built up your mythos. Why don't you tell us like a quick rundown of what the holiday card project is at DeviantArt?
Oh, all right. So the Holiday Card Project is a long-standing tradition at DeviantArt. It's something that we've been doing since 2004. But of course, there's some gaps in between. This is the 12th year that we're doing it. And it basically is the community creating wonderful greeting cards, Christmas cards and the like. They send them to us, and then we distribute them to patients in hospitals in the United States and throughout the world. We've distributed a large number of cards to thousands of patients in institutions, not just here in greater Los Angeles, but throughout the United States and various different countries. And it's basically the biggest event that DeviantArt looks forward to. It's arguably bigger than any of the other community campaigns that I have worked with. And it's always the one that gets people super excited.
Now, I remember last year you were tackling the holiday card project, and that was like a lot of man hours. Like you were staying super late. What makes it so intensive?
So aside from getting all the cards in from all over the world, it's making sure that each and every card is accounted for. We want to make sure that everyone who sends in their card gets their core membership. So as you know, a feature of the Holiday Card Project is if you send the card to us and you have your username attached to that card on a separate sheet of paper, you will get a 1-month core membership for free, no strings attached, on us. The only string is that you send the card. And so we want to make sure that each and every deviant that sends cards over actually gets the membership that they deserve. And we account for every single card that comes in. I spend 2 to 3 hours every Friday in the conference room making sure that those cards are not just sorted, but they're processed. And in December, when we actually start sending the cards out, that they get sorted into which hospital will receive these cards. So it does take a lot of time. I do get a lot of help as well, especially as December starts coming along. But for the most part, it is something that is actually fairly easy to run. I enjoy spending a couple of hours by myself in the conference room counting people's cards and seeing all the wonderful art. Actually, I have a few of them right here.
Oh, so for those of you listening, you can't see these, but enjoy a slight ASMR sound that Josh and I will perform of cards.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of bond paper.
Bond paper.
And this is the sound of card.
Good job, Josh.
Good job, Matt.
I like it. It's a great it's a really great thing that we can do for the community. Like I love just seeing like how many things come in because I remember by the end of last year you had buckets
Oh, yeah.
and like bins of letters.
Oh, that is true. We have gotten at least 100 cards on a given day. Of course, there are days where you get like 50, you get less. But especially since our community loves doing things at the very last minute, we get like hundreds of cards a day, especially as December comes along. So last year, we received over 2,500 cards.
Wow.
That's a lot for a project that runs a little over 5 weeks. And each and every card is processed accordingly, as I mentioned earlier. So that's a lot of paper to go through. We've had people send boxes of like 100 cards, all from this one school. And we go through every single one of them. More often than not, you have deviants who provide 10 cards, 20 cards, and only one username. So you have to imagine, if it's hard for me to count these cards, imagine how hard it must have been for these deviants to actually make these wonderful greeting cards that we give out to patients to begin with.
And the community does really latch onto this program. I know that we've got quite a few users that really look forward to it every year.
Oh yeah, I know one. J Cool Arts asks every single year, are we doing the holiday card project?
What's the answer for this year?
100% yes.
You heard it here first.
And I will continue running this project so long as I am here at DeviantArt. I have committed to that.
That's awesome, Josh. Like, I'm so glad that you're like running this because I know how much it means to you. Like, Josh and I shared an office, and like, Josh would work so late on these things that he'd come in the next day just like dead, but happy, but dead. Like,
Oh yeah, the latest that I have stayed in the office to actually count these cards, I believe, was 10 o'clock in the evening. And I started counting cards at 5 p.m. So imagine these are buckets full of cards laid out on the table, and I would go through every single one of them. Sometimes I'd have to scrounge through cards and start over because I was looking for usernames that are missing. So it is a lot of effort.
that's roughly 29 hours of card reading from 5 p.m. on Thursday to 10 p.m. Friday. You heard it here.
Well, not that much, but I do try my best. This year, I certainly hope to spread out the card counting a little bit more so that as your cards come in, we're actually able to get a more accurate count for people.
Yeah, I know a lot of people on staff enjoy helping you out as well. So
Oh, yeah.
why don't you tell us a little bit about last year's project and how that went?
So last year's project was the first time that we ran the holiday card project since it was last run in 2016. So that was the year right before Wix acquired DeviantArt. So now that we had the resources to be able to run the project, I was asked by our wonderful boss to run the holiday card
You
project. once
gestured at
again.
me for people watching. I am not his wonderful boss.
Take note, I said our, so I was referring to Heidi. And she asked me to run the holiday card project again this year because we finally were able to do so. And so we ran the project. I actually launched the project from our other office in Tel Aviv.
Oh, wow.
I was actually there paying them a visit, and we decided, okay, let's run the project. We launched the journal while I was there, and everyone was off to the races. They started sending the cards in. And once the cards started coming in, the momentum built. And you have all these people, kids, elderly, students, artists that are professionals, artists that are amateurs, people who create digital art, traditional art, poetry, everything under the sun. They made it, they sent it over to us, and I have seen it.
That's amazing. And we distributed all across the world last year.
We did.
What would be the furthest place that we were able to get cards to
The
last year?
furthest that we got to was Munich, Germany. So we have a doctor who is a deviant who has participated in a few other holiday card projects, and we've sent him some cards. We sent him, I think, 50 cards last year, and that was definitely fun. He works at a children's hospital, so these are going to little kids that are in the hospital over the Christmas holidays. So you know that your cards are really making an impact. We've also sent cards out to Canada and the United Kingdom, in addition to places all over the United States. If you think about it, since this project was first run in 2004, and including the statistics from last year, we've distributed over 30,000 cards.
Wow.
From thousands of deviants coming from over 60 countries, territories, cities, if you will, and you've distributed them all over the world. So this project is not just big in terms of the logistics that's required, it's big in terms of scale and impact. And it's something that the community knows that they can see a tangible outcome in terms of where their art is going. They love the fact that their art is being seen by people who may not get to see it otherwise because they're in the hospital.
It's really cool, like, getting to hear so much about it, especially from, like, your point of view where you are so hands-on with it and know it so, like, deeply. So speaking of last year's, what were some highlights of that for you?
Well, I loved delivering them to hospitals.
You did by hand. Like, you drove them to the hospitals in our area.
I did. So I actually drove down in my grandfather's 1990 Toyota Corolla with Delina, Humble Hills, to UC Irvine Medical Center. And they were so gracious with us, giving us a tour of the facilities. It's a wonderful hospital, especially for people out in Orange County. And they loved the cards that we received. I also brought some cards over to LAC USC Medical Center. For those of you who are not in the greater Los Angeles area, that's the largest hospital in LA County, and it's the teaching hospital of the University of Southern California. They sent us a letter in late January of this year, thanking us for giving them the opportunity to bring some cheer to these people who may not get it otherwise. And they loved the cards that we sent them. We're actually sending cards to them again this year. And we look forward to working not just with LAC USC, but with the other hospitals that we've partnered with throughout last year and definitely this year, that they will receive more cards. I can already commit to sending cards over to Pittsburgh. When I went home last year, we gave cards out at Allegheny General Hospital, which is that city's biggest hospital. They actually asked us that they want cards this year, and we're definitely sending some that way.
That's awesome. So again, we're doing this year in case someone went to the bathroom or like a plane flew overhead and you couldn't hear it. If someone wants to participate in this, what are the steps that they undertake?
So we have a journal. The journal will be linked in the description to this podcast.
Right below.
Right below. But just in case, you can search for Holiday Card Project 2019 ! That is the title of the journal for the Holiday Card Project. All they have to do is create greeting cards, paper, or any other material, if you will, and you send it to us. The address is in the journal. We need to receive your physical cards in order for us to process them and to make sure that they go to hospitals in the US and throughout the world. Now, there are a lot of deviants who are unable to actually print out these cards. They may, for some reason, not have the money, or they don't have a printer, or they are unable to do so, but they still want to create their cards digitally. There are groups out there that will do this for them. And I actually want to give a shout out to one of these groups because they've been so helpful with the Holiday Card Project last year and this year. So that's Mariah Morales and the Holiday Card Helpers group. If you need your cards produced and you are unable to print them out on your own, she can help you. Check out Holiday Card Helpers. They will send your cards to us.
We will also have them linked below.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, I'm glad. I certainly hope that the Holiday Card Project continues to impact people. I mean, we've had people actually tell us it's so great that artists are able to share a little bit. That actually came from Princess King Forever, right? And
Sure.
Right? We have another artist who actually says, we've had people tell us this is their favorite activity.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a comment from Sassy Cat So Catty, and that's so with 4 O's. Or is it 3 O's? 3 or 4 O's. That this is their favorite project. They love how they're able to do this every single year, and they imagine all the smiles on people's faces. This is the happiest activity that you will find on DeviantArt. Please, if you are able to do so, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what language you speak, no matter whatever your circumstances are in life, please participate in the Holiday Card Project. We will welcome your cards no matter what.
All right, Josh. So where can people find you on DeviantArt?
So people can find me at Akistar. That's AKIESTAR. Sounds like Aquí Estar in Spanish. I'm generally everywhere in DeviantArt. I run a weekly contest for core members called the Thursday Prompt. And I also run a bi-monthly feature of Filipino artists called Looking at the Sun and Stars. You'll see me anywhere.
Excellent. And again, you can find me on DeviantArt at ggmattb. Pretty easy. GGMATTB.
Certainly easier than mine.
It rhymes. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Please take part in the Holiday Card Project, and make sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends about the DeviantArt podcast, tell them about the Holiday Card Project, get that core.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Don't forget, use the hashtag Holiday Card Project 2019 on social media.
All right, thank you so much for joining us all. Bye.
Bye, everybody.